Good day to everybody out there to see thy wealth, water your health, drink a glass of water. And I'm going to ask you a question. If you can answer that for me, please let me know in the comments. What are you waiting for? What is taking you so long to be great? Are you waiting for somebody to hold your hand and tell you step by step how to accomplish your goals? Because if you're waiting for that, you're never going to get to where you're trying to get to. Do you need a teacher to come out and spell out for you how to get to where you're trying to get to in life? Because if you're waiting for that, you're never going to get to where you want to get to. Those things cost. Mentorship costs. People that's going to lead you in the right direction, it costs to be around them people. They're not just going to let you in that space. So what have you done personally to propel you to a level to get to where you want to get? It's Friday. Everybody, majority of the United States population is hustling for the weekend. We hustle all week, Monday through Friday, just so we can have a weekend. Hustling for somebody else to collect a small percentage of what we just our output for this week. So we work 40 plus hours for someone else to build their dreams. And the moment we get a small amount of time for ourselves, we don't even have the energy to study for a particular subject that we want to accomplish, to attack our dreams, to put our efforts into building up our life in a space where we don't even need that job. We have so much energy devoted to building up someone's company that once it's time for us to actually put time into ourselves, all we want to do is go to the club. All we want to do is go drink, smoke, get high, sit around a bunch of knuckleheads that's doing nothing, trying to keep up with the Joneses instead of putting up some bread. That's what we want to do. We don't want to take and sacrifice our time today so we can live the life we want to live tomorrow. Look at me. I did 6.5 years in the joint. All that time I wasted, but I gained a lot. During the last 2 to 3 years, I gained something during the whole time. But what I did was I wasted a lot of that time instead of sharpening who I am. I didn't confront a lot of the issues that I deal with today because of how I would have been received in there. You know what I'm saying? Like in jail, you have to uphold a particular, everywhere you got to uphold a reputation, but you definitely have to uphold a reputation in jail because you can't go anywhere. So with that, coupled with me not being secure within myself, it was a lot of things that I didn't attack in there as far as mentally. You know, there was a couple of programs that I went to try to get through certain traumas, and it helped. But I wasn't able to get to where I wanted to because of the confinement and what everybody would have thought about me had I shared these things, you know. But to be in a space now, to be able to do what I want to do, it's because I did what? I wasn't hustling for the weekend. I was hustling for the future. I wasn't getting my little check that I was getting from the little retail outlets, right? I wasn't taking those checks and going and flossing and buying a whole bunch of things that didn't add value. I was trying to stay my behind out of prison and saving and saving and saving and saving and saving and still not getting nowhere. Still not feeling like I'm getting anywhere. People coming to my doorstep, yo, you trying to get back on the game and the game? And I wasn't no major drug dealer. And these guys was petty drug dealers too. They got a nerve to show up on my step asking me if I want to get back in the game. I'm like, nah, I could never do that no more. I'm not built for that kind of time no more. I can't even understand why you would even come to my door asking me this. You can't be my friend. You can't. Do it look like I'm that stupid, like I don't have that much intelligence to where I'm gonna come home from doing 6.5 years in jail? I'm on home confinement and you asking me if I want to sell drugs? Nah, no. You don't get to these positions like this because you think like everybody else. You know, common sense is very, very common. The key is to have uncommon sense, because I don't want to think like the common man and woman. The common man and woman is asleep. The common man and woman is out here on some zombie mission. The common man and woman is on a 9-to-5 trip, and there's nothing wrong with a 9-to-5. But when you're on a 9-to-5 trip and you're not putting up money to get out of the 9-to-5, then that's a problem. And everybody can't get it. But so I appreciate the ones that can't get it, because you are what to keep the cycle going. But I'm talking to the ones that want to get out of that space, that need that motivation. How the hell you gonna let me come home from doing 6.5 years, outthink you and outlap you? And this ain't a game, this ain't no race. But just think about that. I sit down for 6.5 years. I come home with no money, $3,500, $4,000. It's not really no real money, it's better than nothing. But guess what? No license, no vehicle. I had a loving family. I was able to turn something negative into a positive because I knew I wasn't going back. I didn't care how broke I got. I was never going to pick up another piece of drug again to sell. Never. If I go back to jail, it's got to be for something else. Totally different. But, you know, you have to make up your mind. You have to make up your mind. You have to put the time and energy into you. I stopped worried about what everybody else think. I stopped putting the energy into everybody else's business. I did. I started to focus on me. I started to focus on where I wanted to get at in life. I started to focus on how I wanted to go to sleep at night, how I wanted to look, how I wanted to live, how I wanted to be perceived. And stop worried about the guys who I was trying to look up to when I was younger. I still go through that. I still code switch. I still talk real proper when I go into a bank or somewhere. There's nothing wrong with that. But I don't talk like that all the time. You know? Where I come from, I talk how I grew up. Now, I have some intelligence with me. I know how to get articulate. That doesn't mean anything, but and I don't know, y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think. Is that a part of just, you know how you get in front of your mother and then I don't curse in front of my mom. Like it really has to be a passionate moment and I have to be super upset for me to let a curse word come out of my mouth. You know how you get in front of your mother? I get in front of my mom, I won't say nothing I won't speak like that. When I get in front of my friends, I will be cursing. Same thing. I get in front of a certain particular crowd and you might hear it on the camera. And you might hear me sounding all proper and like I'm in a corporate 500 meeting. And then you hear me over here and I sound like I'm on the block. Right? So part of me thought that I was hiding who I was when I would do things like that. And then a part of me was just like, no, it's just a tool. Like, you don't have to be one way all the time in regards to how you present yourself. You don't. You know, that's just that's a part of who I am. I know how to do this. I know how to do that. I know how, you know, and maybe it is something wrong with that. But guess what? I've been so programmed my whole life to do that, to go to school and treat the teachers with respect. Because if we bring our ass home with something bad, then we're going to get in trouble. So I was always taught to speak the right way and proper in that way, you know, and then being influenced by the TV, you know, that's just, I don't even know how I got into this part of the conversation. But the thing is, I do what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it, you know, in the fashion I want to do it. You know, and if you haven't got up today to do what you want to do, how you want to do it, then you're going to always be doing what someone else wants you to do, when they want you to do it, and how they want you to do it. Okay, I need you to come in at 9 o'clock this morning. How much is your time worth? Okay, I need you to take a break at this time. Come back at this time. I need you to attack this project at this time. There's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with that is when we get comfortable and then we start complaining and pointing the finger at someone else for why our life isn't where it needs to be. That's when the problems arise, because we never take responsibility for where we are in our life, why we haven't made it to that next level, why we're still stuck on stupid, why we in a relationship that isn't helping us out, why we giving people our attention that really don't want to see us win. Why? Me personally, all I could say for me is when I would do things like that, it's because I didn't love myself. I had low self-esteem, fear of rejection, fear of acceptance, like a lot of fears. And overcoming those things and just saying, I don't even care I'd just rather be by myself. I'd rather be by myself than to be around people that are fake, that I have to be someone else. And then when I leave, I'm someone, like, I don't want to do that. So today when I woke up and I meditated. Yes, I woke up and I meditated. And as difficult as it was to sit there for 15 minutes, I sat there and I meditated with all the noise going on in my mind, because it's so quiet here in the morning when you first wake up. But as time goes on, you realize that silence and that breathing and letting the noise in, that's all a part of it. Life is what you make it, man. Don't let nobody tell you anything otherwise about, I always thought the system was designed to see me fail. And while that may be true, I cannot take away, I know right from wrong. I can't take away, if I know right from wrong and I know the system is designed to see me fail, why the hell am I still continuing to play with the system? Soon as they get me, it's over. We know these things. But, we could continue to blame the man, this man, that man, and whatever man, instead of taking responsibility for our lives like we usually do. We always pointing the finger and never taking responsibility for our life. With that, man, I appreciate y'all for tapping in. This is See Thy Wealth. Sorry if this was all over the place, but it's just me speaking my mind. Have a good day. Peace.